All right, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to our New Ulm Park and Recreation Commission meeting. Happy New Year to everybody. It's great to have everyone here for our first meeting to kick off the new year. Before we get started and reviewing the agenda, would like to do some introductions. Want to especially welcome our guests that are here today, and then a new commissioner. So, I don't know, Director Schmitz, if you would like to make the introduction.
I think, yes, I would certainly like to introduce Mr. Jim Bastian as one of our new commissioners. But I think maybe going around the circle a little bit and you get like maybe 10, 15 seconds to introduce yourselves and maybe one thing you like about our system or serving on the commission.
Okay. Mr. Flynn, are you ready?
I'm Leroy,
first.
and I know Red, and I like this because I've learned a lot of things on this
Yeah.
on this commission.
Outstanding. Good.
Terry, neighbor. And I've been on the commission for, seems like a long time, but I've learned a lot about the parks too. There's a lot more parks than I ever dreamed of when we moved here.
I'm Gene Sledadal, and I've really come to appreciate how the Park and Rec Commission has such an impact on the life of New Ulm. I think it's really big.
Mm-hmm. And Toby Fryer, welcome. Glad to have you here. For me, it's probably the collaborative partnerships. And as Tom shares, we're not just about play opportunities, it's economic development, it's health and well-being, and all kinds of other things that we get to hopefully support for the benefit of New Ulm. Thanks again.
I'm Chris Vorwick, and I've just learned a lot of things on being on this commission here too, and everything that goes to keep the park system running.
I'm Melanie Griebel, mom of 6, so I know a lot about the park system stuff. I just like having more of a say kind of in what happens. It's kind of nice.
Dave Christian, Ward 1 City Councilor. I've also known Red for years. I do enjoy being on the Park and Rec. For 12 years, I think I worked behind the scenes with Tom and Cheryl. Now it's working with them. I enjoy it.
We have another new commissioner that will join us here, Tammy. Jim, would you be willing to introduce yourself, give a little more background,
Sure, I'm
and
Jim
why you were
Bastian.
interested?
I'm on the New Ulm Baseball Board with Leroy. I write for the Journal, my retirement job. Parks, I always love park and recreation. There's a lot to learn, about more about the system.
And welcome, Tammy. We just started to go around and do introductions. Probably not going to do it one more time, but we'll make sure we all, after the meeting, introduce ourselves. What we're doing is just a brief introduction and maybe one of the reasons why you were interested in joining the Park and Rec Commission.
I'm Tammy Nelson, and I am interested in joining because I have young kids and I want to be involved in some of the things that will affect them.
Thanks for joining us. Okay, we'll start the official business for the meeting. Everyone should have received an agenda or packet that was sent out with the January 8th agenda. Would look for a motion to approve or any recommendations of changes to the agenda today.
I move that we accept the agenda as received.
Second the motion.
Okay, we have a motion and second. Any more discussion on the agenda? If not, all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next item of business, number 3, was to review the December 12th meeting minutes. For those that were in attendance, would look for any comments or recommendations on changes to the minutes, or else would look for a motion to approve. I unfortunately was not here for the December 11th or 12th meeting. The minutes say December 11th. The agenda says December 12th. I'm going to assume that it's one of the two. I don't have my calendar in front of me.
I think it was the 11th.
Again, hopefully people had a chance to review those in the packet that was sent out. Any comments on the minutes? If not, I would look for a motion to approve.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Okay, there's a motion and second. Any more discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. On to item number 4, the December 2017 Department Activity Report. Again, this was included in our packet, shared updates on programming, parks, utilization of the various facilities, and then some administrative updates from Director Schmitz and Assistant Director Corman. Any questions on the December activity report or any additional comments from Director Schmitz?
I have nothing to add.
Okay, hearing none. Those will be filed with the January meeting. On to item number 5, City Council meeting recap. There were 2 meetings since the last Park and Rec Commission meeting, December 19th and January 2nd. Director Schmitz, do you want to provide any more updates on outcomes from those meetings?
Certainly, Chair Fryer and Commissioners, I'm suggesting a new format to begin the new year with the City Council updates to be read off and mentioned by our City Councilor. And he has agreed to do so. So maybe Councilor Christian might want to highlight anything over the last month from
I
City
guess
Council.
I can handle that. I mean, it's all in front of us, but just reading it in for the minutes. The December 19th meeting, as you're all aware, we adopted the budget. I was very pleased with it, only going up to 1.6% versus the county and the school district, so I was very happy with that, the city towing the line. We accepted the $1,200 fitness instructor training grant from the NRPA. Other donations were accepted. The city council did decline, you're probably all aware of, the Minnesota DNR used to conduct aerial deer surveys. We declined it for this year because it had a cost to it of $1,800. And we kind of decided we do get our own statistics with the annual archery hunt that's in New Ulm, so we do kind of have an idea what's still out there. They authorized partnering with MnDOT to plant trees on Broadway, the boulevards from 7th North to the south end of New Ulm, estimated cost at about $20,000 for 44 trees. January 2nd meeting, not a whole lot to report, just confirmed the mayor's reappointment of Melina Griebel and the new commissioners Jim Bastian and Tammy Nelson, which I'd like to personally welcome. You weren't here when we did the official welcome to the Park and Rec Commission.
Okay, any questions for Councilor or Director Schmitz? Yes.
I would have a question about the partnering with the Department of Transportation on the 44 trees. The 20,140, what does partnering mean as far as the cost is concerned?
I wish Mr. Kaler was here. He actually explained to us at the council meeting.
My understanding is that that is the city cost, the municipal cost to get those trees planted. That MnDOT is going to be planting other trees, but these were additional trees that the city desired to add to the boulevards and medians on Broadway. And so that is the cost, complete with, planting and maintenance for 2 years in a warranty of 2 years. So, $500 a tree is a chunk of change, but that's a normal cost for commercial, industrial tree planting, complete with 2-year warranty and maintenance.
I know it's actually a little deceiving, partnering with MnDOT. No, that's our cost, $20,000 for the 44 trees.
I'm glad that wasn't half then. All right, any other questions or comments on the city council reports? If not, we'll move on to old business, and this item may be brief today. I don't have much. It has my name listed there for renew update. I did read in the minutes, there was some discussion or updates provided last month by Director Schmitz, I believe, and the next step is for city leadership and city council to move forward with kind of a package and program for projects to work on in 2018. As this commission is aware, and Jim and Tammy, I'm going to assume you followed along a little bit on what's been happening with the renew projects and local option sales tax. We're looking at a phased approach to the projects, but excited to get started in 2018 with the first project being Johnson Park. So we should have more to discuss here in the coming months, but I know we're working on planning documents and RFPs and all that exciting stuff to get projects going. At least that was the last update we had from the city council work session. Anything new, Councilor Christian or Director Schmitz?
Waiting
Chair
on that
Fry-
RFP to come across.
Chair Fryer and Commissioners, I do have a couple more little updates. We have received proposals for soil boring around the recreation center. So we're planning to prepare a purchase order to hire a soil boring firm to bore holes and do soil testing around the recreation center to determine what construction options for foundations exist around the rec center, the Vogel Fieldhouse building. Beyond that, city leadership continues to meet every 2 or 3 weeks to prepare and draft and finalize RFPs and scheduling, really. We're not going to do all these 7 projects at once. We know we're going to do Johnson Park in the first package. We don't need an architect for every project or an engineer or both. So we're determining, how most effectively and efficiently to spend our dollars to hire the right consultants rather than too many consultants, so to speak. So we are moving forward, and every month there will be some new information and hopefully action authorized by the city council within a month or so would be my estimate.
Great. Thanks, Director Schmitz. Any other questions on Renew? Outstanding. Okay. On to new business. We have some donation activity. Again, was included in the packet. More information was included on the Aqua Fitness dumbbells. We would need to take action here to recommend the city council accept that donation. Look for a motion. Or questions, if there's any discussion on this.
I make the motion that we accept the donation.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and second to accept the donation and recommend the city council accept it. Any more discussion? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. On to item number 8 under new business, youth career fair fee. Again, there was a action sheet included in the packet. A lot of good background on discussions last year and previous years, and then a recommendation is needed on how to proceed with the 2018 fee or no fee. Director Schmitz, do you want to add anything beyond what was included in the packet?
Chair Fryer and Commissioners, I have nothing else to add that's not listed in the action form, but I do know that Mr. Bill Aufderheide is here representing the committee, and you may be interested in asking him to come up and speak.
Sure, if you're willing. You showed up to attend the meeting. Would love to hear from you. Especially, I think it would be interesting for the commission, a couple new commissioners, to hear a little bit more background on this Career Expo and the success from last year and what specifically you're asking of the commission today.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thanks, Bill.
First of all, I would like to thank the commission for waiving the fees last year. 2017 was a success. We did some experimenting. We invited 8th graders for the first time. The purpose of doing that last year was to expand the discussion. One of the comments we'd received is sometimes at 10th grade, the kids had kind of got their mind made up already. So we thought, well, let's hit them a little earlier and then give them a second shot at 10th grade. And we had 205 8th graders from New Ulm there. And it was a success, so we are going to expand that this year. I'd like to thank Tom and his staff. It went very well. They're a pleasure to work with, and the facility was fantastic. So thank you for that, Tom, and thank you for your support last year. Again, we're headed for the same goal this year. We want to give the students an experience with what businesses are available in New Ulm, what kind of careers are in New Ulm. So many times they don't know what, they can stay in town and make a real living here instead of going to the Twin Cities or other towns. Our goal is to highlight the opportunities in the Brown County, New Ulm area. And we have 50-some businesses there. Some of them have really great demonstrations. I'm kind of jealous of some of the hydraulics and mechanical stuff they have. And we bring down a technical school from Central Lakes College. They bring an excavator type simulator. The kids can sit in there and actually load a dump truck with an excavator. There's a lot of interest in that. So it's just a lot of fun to see the kids wander around, talk to all the vendors, talk to all the businesses, and see what's out there. So.
Okay.
Do you have any questions for me?
Any questions for Bill? Thank you. It sounds like great support from the business community, strong interest, and great support from the students. So I guess I would be interested in supporting the continue this partnership, I guess. So there'd be support or a motion from the commission?
I would move that even as in 17 and 16, that the fees were waived. I believe this is something that Park and Rec has a stake in and wants to should be a partner in, and so I would move that we waive the entire fee of $875.
I'll second that.
Okay, we have a motion and second to waive the fee in 2018. Any more discussion?
Just one comment. I want to thank you for the excellent job that this Expo committee does. I actually went out and visited last year. I was impressed, very impressed. Nice job.
Thank you. There's a lot of effort between the staff and all the businesses, and there's quite a bit of expense in bringing some of those things in and the time we spend there. So we thank you for that.
One more little tidbit is just that, commissioners, this is a recommendation that will go to the city council for their final authorization.
I have a question. Just when you go under the budget stuff under number 11, it had that 2008 was the event's first year and the fee was waived with the agreement that the city would be named as the major co-sponsor and the event would pay fees after establishing itself after a couple of years. So why are we still paying the fee? Like letting them, not taking anything for it?
If I remember that, it came up last year again, and I think last year's council, it's the same this year, and I'm speaking for myself, not for the entire council. At the council meeting, as long as we were named as a sponsor with it, council was okay with
They
doing that.
automatically
I'm
let
only
it
speaking
go?
for myself right now, but that was last year's take on it also.
I just question because it's been almost 10 years.
In
If
part
I
of the
could-
discussion,
If I could just comment,
Please.
this is a nonprofit thing. Nobody's making any money on this. So when we were collecting the fees, we were going to go out to the businesses and ask them for money. We can do that, but it's a win-win for the city. I mean, we're trying to keep people here, trying to keep the tax base strong, the population strong. And so we came back and said, you know, we're not making money on this. We're not asking for money. If you can just help us out with this. And they were very generously said yes. So that's from my side of the table here.
and I remember some of that from our discussion last year. And a strategic goal right now, priority for the city and the community is workforce development and continuing to grow and develop a workforce, and felt like this was an opportunity to provide some in-kind support of facilities that we own, and wouldn't be an additional budgetary item for the city, but a way that we can contribute. And again, kind of back to that community partnership of everybody contributing something to make this possible for the city. Anything else, Dr. Schmitz, to add?
No, I have nothing to add other
Any other
than the
questions?
fact that
Thanks for the
it's,
question.
available to all students. It's not to just a special interest group or a single set of students or participants. This is available to all students in the age and grade categories of the various schools. So, and my understanding is that, they don't have it in their budget to pay these kind of rental fees.
Okay. Good questions, good discussion. If I remember correctly, we had a motion and a second. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Okay, motion carries.
Thank you very much for your support.
All right, on to next item of new business, Herman Monument Grant. Director Schmitz. Again, there was an action sheet included in our packet people can reference.
Yes, thank you, Chair Fryer and Commissioners. You have before you a request that I would like you to forward on to the City Council for them to accept a $60,000 grant from the Minnesota State Historical Society and authorize the city manager to sign an agreement with them to assist in funding a comprehensive conditions assessment study of Herman Monument. The application for this grant was authorized in May of this past year, 2017, by the City Council. Herman Monument is in dire need of restoration. My opinion is that the entire monument is in need of restoration, except for possibly the statue at the very top. The statuary at the top is seems to be in good condition because it was not too recently restored in the past. Recently. So, we don't know yet. We'll be putting RFPs together to hire actually consultant firms to do the study. So we don't know for sure what the total cost will end up being. But this $60,000 request from the state was deemed appropriate to assist with funding a comprehensive conditions assessment study. So there may be some municipal costs coming in the future, to hire a firm and complete the study. But I definitely recommend that we move forward and request the City Council authorize this, accepting the grant to begin our restoration study of Herman Monument.
Okay, thanks for the overview. Would open it up for questions or discussion on this action item.
One other tidbit of item I'd like to interject is that the Heritage Preservation Commission has been involved with this also. So it's not just the Park and Rec Commission, but it's also the City Heritage Preservation Commission and the building official and his office have been involved with the application and will be involved with moving forward if it's authorized.
Is there a timeline as it related to the funds to be used for the study?
There is a timeline, and this is just another step in a multifaceted or multi-stepped process to get, a restoration design plan established so that we can go after a larger grant or a series of larger grants to actually implement the restoration. And so it's a little bit on a fast track. We're going to be trying to complete this study over the summer to meet an autumn deadline for a large grant with the Minnesota State Historical Society to actually obtain some funds to begin implementing some of the restoration and reconstruction. So it's something that the study should be completed this year and in hopes of applying for a larger implementation grant.
And one comment to add to Director Schmitz, I mean, you have to have this study to apply for the bigger part of the grant from the Historical Society. This has to be completed before you even can fill the paperwork out.
Okay. Any other questions or discussion on this item? Okay, is there a motion of support to recommend the City Council accept the $60,000 grant?
Motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and second. Any more discussion? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. On to item number 10 on the agenda, South Market Park parcel purchase. Again, there was information included in the packet, pictures, diagrams, and a little more background and overview. Director Schmitz, anything else to add?
Chair Fryer and Commissioners, I really don't have anything to add that's not in the action form. The estate of a recently deceased citizen has a small parcel of land completely surrounded by city ownership adjacent to South Market Park. And city leadership has met and view it appropriate to offer a purchase agreement to the county assessed value of $600 for this small parcel of land adjacent to South Market Park. You have in your packet an aerial photo and the Brown County property information about the parcel. So this would be an action that would go on to the city council for their final authorization and adoption of the action.
Okay, any questions or discussion on the potential purchase of this parcel? Seems to make sense, yeah.
I move adoption.
Okay, we have a motion to recommend city council authorize purchase.
Second.
And a second. Any more discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. On to reports. Director Schmitz has included a number of projects in progress or in planning. Any that you'd like to highlight here, Director Schmitz?
Thank you, Chair Fryer and Commissioners. The main thing I want to highlight is that our new programming season has begun. 10 a.m. this morning, online, internet, with credit cards being accepted. We've got a lot of people signing up for activities for the rest of the winter and early spring, including the garage sale coming up this spring at the Civic Center. There was a line of people interested in that. So if you don't have a brochure, we've got brochures available at the rec center and many other places. It's also available on the city website. Lots of exciting activities. Harmon Park outdoor ice skating. We had a good past weekend, and now all of a sudden a warming trend. So we need to have some cool weather come back upon us. Doesn't have to be frigid, but we would like some cool weather to return so we can maintain our outdoor ice for skating at Harmon Park. The other major announcement, I want to reiterate the fact that Chair Fryer is going to be receiving an award from Minnesota Rec and Park Association, and that's tomorrow. So we're very excited to be heading up to the Twin Cities tomorrow and presenting him in our community with this well-deserved award. If there's any questions, I can try to answer any questions you may have. We are into the new year, so we're beginning to tee up our new projects, so to speak. The replacements and repairs that we have scheduled and now funded with the 2018 budget. So we're full speed ahead with preparing for the summer construction season and ordering necessary supplies and equipment through our annual budget.
Okay, thanks for the report. Any questions for Director Schmitz? Okay, would look to see if there's any commissioner reports for this afternoon. Updates, questions from the commissioners? Hearing none, our next meeting will be February 12th at 4 p.m. I want to thank everyone for being in attendance. Looks like there's a new photo needed for the brochure.
I was thinking you'd
We'll
forget.
adjourn this meeting. Thanks, everyone.